it seems like I'm really inconsistent. Kinda.
Consistent in terms of what? What would you say?
Consistent in terms of like, well, I feel like it's a lot of wins. I either win a lot or lose a lot. It's not like the typical like every now and again you go on a big win streak, but
I think for me, I'm seeing a lot of other champions pop up in terms of what's it called? Like having a too big of a champion pool can be a problem. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like consistency comes a lot with not making any basic mechanical mistakes or like ideas in game, and that when you change champions every game, it kind of affects that, if that makes any
okay.
sense. So
Yeah, it does.
it's like sometimes sometimes I see Varus, I'm like, oh, you play Varus, and then I'm like, oh, there's no Varus anymore, right? It's like, are we trying to? You should try and keep your pool as small as possible. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
my pool right now is mainly Kaisa K, Ezreal, Xayah, but since Kaisa and K are pretty much banned every game, since I'm starting to get like
Okay, okay.
Damon, I just
That's
go between Xayah and Ezreal.
That's fair. That's fair. Then in that case, then it's not bad. It's not bad. I'll say four is max, right?
Yeah.
But four is good. I'll say four is good. So tell me about your gameplay and which of these do you think we should look at first?
Okay, the thing about my gameplay is I don't know, like, obviously I'm decent at this game because I'm plat 2, but last season I got to diamond in like 500 games. In this
Mm-hmm.
game, and this season I'm at like 700, and I'm only at plat 2, so I don't know what happened between now and last season. But like just like stats wise, I got better because like I'm CSing better. I have like less deaths and like more kills and more assists and stuff like that. But it's like for the most part, I don't know why I'm not like winning as much. Like me and my
Interesting.
friend talk about it, and we kind of think it's because maybe I'm a bit like too passive. Because I think sometimes I get the mentality of like, oh, if I walk up right now, I will die, so I'm just not gonna do it. Because I'd rather live and not do any damage and try to do damage and end up dying. So that
Interesting.
might be why I might not be seeing like the optimal windows to do damage or and
So,
whatnot.
so
So
this is interesting. So we might see that, but I highly doubt it. Right. So
yeah,
from the people I've coached or the players I've seen, do you know how many times I've seen someone being too passive?
how many?
Once, and he was
Really?
bronze, just learning the game. So
Uh,
it's almost never going to be that, but it could be the case, right? It's just
yeah,
it doesn't seem like it. Seeing a high number of deaths doesn't indicate that you're being too passive. It's an indicator that we're trying to do some too much, or we're dying to some kind of map awareness gank or something like that,
yeah.
right? So
The thing is, I don't know if this is just me being like super biased or whatever, but it seemed like in my games, like my lane usually goes like all right slash we kind of lose or like we kind of win, but like some lane like gets really far behind the enemies we're ahead, and I don't know if that's just me not knowing how to deal with that or what, but like there'll be like some really fed like assassin or something, and I just continuously die to him and I can't really do anything.
right. So whenever that does happen, it's just like you always have to deal with it, right? And it's
Yeah,
like obviously it's not kind of fair because we're the ones who are gonna get assassinated. But
yeah,
it's like no matter what, you cannot die to it, right?
yeah.
So if it comes up later in the game, I'll show you an example I had the other day where they had quadruple globals, right? And I was playing Twitch, and I had to basically play like I couldn't play the game until I saw their globals, right?
Yeah.
And that's how you have to play the game. Otherwise, you're gonna get instantly punished, right? And it's just like a no-brainer. Of course, they're coming for you, right?
Yeah.
Of course, Nocturne is gonna ulti you, or Kite is gonna ulti you, or even Rengar coming down, etc., right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just it's the game devolves into can you not die to it, and if you don't die to it, you're like winning,
Yeah.
right? So the instant you die to it once, though, you're kind of losing. So good catch on Soraka there. I don't know
Yeah.
why your Rakan started Q level 1, but that's kind of weird.
And
Considering how you guys can just kill them.
yeah, and this
But
game,
okay.
I know because I watch a lot of your videos, and know
Hmm.
for Xayah you continue to say like either use Q first and then wait, and then use W, or use W first and then wait to you like E and Q so you
Hmm.
don't lose W time. And I do that, but there's a couple of times where I kind of just like fall into the instinct of using Q mid W or E mid W, and I try my hardest not to do it. So
Well,
for
in
the
this
most part,
case,
I don't. But
right. That's good because if like basically we have these rules because most of the time they'll be the most effective way to play
yeah,
the game, right? But if you break these rules, it'll mean something like, oh, it was so obvious to you that there was an exception here,
yeah,
and it works. So all we care about is does it work, right?
yeah,
And these rules make sure it works. So if you break these rules, it should be like super obvious. So if you're like, oh, it feels natural to me to use my Q and my E during my W, it probably means something like you're gonna kill them
yeah,
with your Q and E. So no problems, right? It's just that if there's ever a mistake that we needed that extra damage or we didn't get enough value or something like that, then it's like, oh, okay, go back to the rules, right? Oh, what happened here? Wait, how do we lose our flash? Hold up. Did we
No,
flash
I
this
flashed
Soraka?
for the Soraka to kill her. I probably didn't need to do that. I couldn't see her health with Ignite, so I didn't know if she was gonna die to the tick.
Okay, fair. You could have healed, but either one works, right? And then what's the idea now? I guess. Okay, so after you kill this guy, what do you want to do?
Yes, this is the thing that I kinda have a problem with is in this situation, like when we kill the support and the AD's still alive, I don't know if we should freeze it or just hard push it.
So
Because
if
if
you
we freeze it, we're 2v1 and we can deny them. But if we hard push it, then there's a chance that they lose one on the tower because we can just zone them off tower.
so is there a freeze here?
Uh, no, it's gonna be pushing towards them regardless.
Right. So if you leave this lane alone, it's gonna eventually push towards that.
Yeah.
Right, is the idea. Since you have a shit ton of minions,
Yeah.
ton of minions here already. So there's no real freeze here. So what are your options?
Hard push it and then just like go ward for Xayah ganks.
Right. You can hard push and or slow push. Right.
Okay.
Which is what you're doing right now is building up as big of a wave as possible so that the jungle gank is not gonna work. Right. Okay, nice try, I guess, for Khan. And you guys go ward, and then you still have the same kind of problem here. Is you gotta hard push or slow push, or maybe just give up the CS, right? Because mid's missing, jungle missing. Of course, we saw the jungle gank, so it's kind of like we already know it's coming. But in this case, it's like, oh wait, he was on the map, and then oh, you're just dead to flash for sure.
Yeah.
You just didn't even flash. Oh no. Okay, so what happened here?
I think what happened here is I looked top as soon as Rek'Sai showed up on our ward, and I just didn't pay attention and see her, so I didn't back up quick enough. Because I do start backing up, but I backed up because of the Soraka, not because of the Rek'Sai. So I think I should have started backing up sooner. And
Right,
probably
so
just healed for the move speed earlier.
if Rek'Sai has no flash, how do you do this?
Just heal and walk away. And
well, if you just try and walk away, he's gonna catch you, right? He's going at a diagonal, and he's gonna walk at you and then knock you up, right? So how do you stop Rek'Sai with Xayah?
Q auto and then E.
Right, you can heal and then Q auto E, but if he has flash, you're dead anyway. So what was the idea here?
Not paying attention to the map and being too far forward.
Right, it's like you have to know he's coming over the wall.
Yeah.
Like at any point, right? Not just this wall, the wall behind you. You know, they come from the back, right? Tri-bush. So this is like super common, right? So either you have to ward for it, or you just have to push and base, right? Or say we screwed up and this happens, you just gotta base, right?
Yeah.
For whatever reason, right? And then how do we know we're dying to gank?
You always are dying to a gank if the jungle is not showing.
Well, if you had flash, would you be dying to this gank?
No.
Right, because you can just flash out, right? Exactly. So we have no flash, right? And the other section is, you know, how much HP do we start with?
Like 3/4.
Right, and apparently Rakana's nothing, so he can't save you. So it's just like we just died to a gig. I don't know. There's not much. There's not much else to say, right? You always have to assume it's coming, right? So it's like when you want to freeze, when you want to push, when you want to slow push, you always ask yourself, can I be stopped by a gank for whatever reason? Also, they have an Aurelion Soul, so you're definitely dying for sure now. If Aurelion Soul is missing, like in this picture, right? 100%, no question about it, right? Aurelion Soul is super cancer. So, in terms of making sure we don't get roamed on, what's the solution?
Deep wood and play safe.
When can you push? When can you push?
When the Acel's on the map and we have flash or ult if we're pro 6.
Right, I'll say something like, you need a reason to say that this gank is not going to work. Like, your counter gank is coming, your TP is up, you're level 6, they have no HP, something like that. But the standard is you're probably not going to be able to push, right? So slow push is good, right? You might want to shove this whole wave in right now, because the other wave is coming in. But maybe if we slow push another wave, that's not the worst either. Kind of awkward, missing CS, but
yeah, my CS
won't
is
worry
like,
about
it's
it
not
too much.
bad, but it's not good. Cause I average like 7 CS, so it's like it's not terrible. But
Do you see what's gonna happen next? Isn't this the same?
Again.
Isn't this the same thing as last time, right? So,
Yeah.
Oh, he's top, so now you know he's not here. But it was the same situation. So, how do you prevent that? Well, in this case, you could have prevented it, right? How do you prevent it here?
Hard push it.
Right. You want to shove it all into tower. How do you know?
You don't, or I don't personally.
So when you're slow pushing, the idea is that you generate a big enough wave that if they are jungle ganks, you're gonna win 2v3. Right. So is this a big enough wave?
I'd say.
I would say so. So you want to shove this in, because what's the alternative? Is that the big wave is gonna meet up here, and then it's gonna shove in, and then they're gonna gank you. Right. They're gonna run past the minions and gank you. So that's why you need to shove this in and then go do something. Right. Because if you shove this in here, they can't walk past it.
Yeah.
Because their minions are gonna hit them, right? Versus the minions are hitting the tower, then they walk past, right? So, when you're doing the slow push idea, you gotta there's a timing when you need to know when you have to shove it all in, and timing is when you can get it all into their tower, right? So that's the idea. So here, this is why we're stuck in this situation. Is that you know, if Xayah comes out now, they just walk past the minions, we're in trouble, right? We gotta heal or something, or somehow root Xayah or something like that. But oh, here comes the Aurelion Soul. We're dead. Right, no way out. Same. It's the same thing, right? Is kind of is a combination of like wave management and like, you know, they're just ganking, but wave management will help with this.
Okay.
Right. This happened twice, right? So let's see how we can prevent it the first time as well, right? We kill this guy, and then sure, flash, whatever, and then you push this in.
Like hard push it.
You have to hard push this in, right?
Okay. Because
you have two options. You base, hopefully it'll push into you. It's not gonna push into you, right? Or you push it in, because you need to leave, right? You wanted to what's it called? You wanted to reset, right? You need to go buy. You need to get your HP back. So remember the idea about, you know, this is the same thing, is when you slow push, to what extent? Oh, when you can shove it all into their tower, right? So I think in this case you can kill all these minions before the next wave comes. So the reason why I got wonky is because it got stuck out here. Same thing, right? Push it all in. You gotta push it all in. Otherwise, you're gonna be stuck in these scenarios where they can just gank you for free like this, and it's like, oh, you know, what do you do if this happens? Well, you don't do anything. You have to give up all the minions, because you're just getting ganked, right? This could even be silent TP at level 6 or anything like that, but we're just getting ganked. So, what's the most effective spot for your lane, all in lane? How do you want the wave
to be towards us, so they have to run farther back?
Okay, that's true. If you can catch them out, you're killing them for sure. Anything like that is good, right? How about shoved into their tower? Is that good?
It is, if we know where their jungler is.
Because I'd say,
if the jungler is like top, then we can dive.
This is true. I would be hesitant to dive 2v2, but you have options. You still have options if you push in. Is what we're trying to get at, right? It's like, oh, Rakan can go mid, right? How often have you seen Blitzcrank run mid, or Alistar or Leona, anything like that? That's that's the number one, dude. The enemy millionaire is gonna get so tilted. You guys just auto win, right? And then you know, what's the worst option? This is the worst option, where you can't all in and you can't roam, right? You can't do anything is the prompt. So you gotta shove it all in into the tower. If you have the choice, which you do since you're playing Xayah, right? Champions that don't have a choice are like Vayne, and even then you can probably figure out something, right? Even when you're playing Vayne, you can figure out something, like auto attack and tumble the minions and stuff like that. So since this is a slow push, we know, oh, we can wait another wave for in this example, right? Or you can even choose to shove this one in too. You have options here, but if it ends up like last time, we know it's a recurring problem, right? Okay, now you can shove this all in, right? If you see Aurelion Soul, Xayah, you can even look for a 2v2. You don't see Xayah, but Master Yi's here. Oh, Xayah's here too. Oh, people want this. Okay, so they want you to push. or they want to fight Rek'Sai or something. Don't think you guys can die 4v3. So, oh, nice try. Oh, this is looking bad now. Maybe you could like snipe Soraka. Oh, it's fine. Fast forward. Let's see what's going on. I think we're missing a lot of CS too. When it comes to this is a common problem when people build up waves and then there's a bunch of minions hitting the minions.
Yeah.
Right. So I guess my best piece of advice is when I see minions dying, you base your last hit off the cannon minion or the range minions. Right. So right after the cannon minion hits, you can last hit it, for example, or something like that.
Got
right.
it.
But this is just think we have bigger fish to fry. Make sure the wave is good, and if you're getting ganked, you're getting ganked. Oh my god, he's just dead. What? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, she just already employs.
Oh no, Soraka flashed.
Yeah, she flashed and got the heal.
She should have just queued, but that's not your fault at all. You just need to leave. Oh, okay, you're out. Sure. You definitely don't want to do anything. Oh, we're getting ganked here, right? How do we know?
Because we're pushed up and we have the wards.
Right. So you want to, if you do anything that's not hit and run, you're doing something wrong, right? Okay, so that's fine, right? We just need to make sure we're not dying to gank. Sure, good. Oh, see, Aurelion Soul is here. Everyone's coming, right? You have no mid laner, so
he comes bot a lot this game. I remember.
Of course. If there's some free shit to be had bot, he will come bot. Oh, okay. What are we doing here that we could do differently in terms of wave management?
Not hard push it.
All right. Why is that?
Freeze it because the same thing could just happen before.
Right. We want our wave to be in a spot where we can all in them, or use our bot lane matchup to pressure them. Maybe we can't all in them because their jungler is always bot, but we have to make the jungler stay bot because if he leaves, we're gonna all in them. Oh, okay, here we go. There we go. That's the reason why we like it there. But what happened here? How come? Oh, I think we got mixed up in terms of what we're trying to do.
Yeah. Because I didn't know here if I should go for the just insta burst with Soraka or back off because Vayne's just free hitting me, and I was also staying in the silence so I couldn't use E or Q.
Right, so this is a mechanics kind of idea in terms of playing Xayah, right? So what is Xayah's follow-up on Rakan ulti?
She can either just Q auto or Q auto E or just ult E, and then
right. I would say ulti E is probably too slow sometimes, but Q auto E is probably one of the best ones. And you went for W, which is not bad, but why didn't it work? Why didn't it work?
Silence? Maybe because I was too far away to auto range.
Right, too far away, so it doesn't work. So you have to know that your other follow-up response is Q auto E, or you just play like normal, like you're going for 2v2 all in, which is press W, hit the closest guy, that stuff, right? So I think we got mixed up in terms of we really wanted to follow up, but we chose the option where we needed to be in auto attack range. We were in auto attack range, and then kind of he's just hitting us the whole time, right? Look how many times he hit us before we got to Soraka, right? It's just not quite working.
Should I just hit the Vayne?
Right, you can hit Vayne. I think that's fine. You can even do something like ulti E because Soraka has no flash, right? Literally anything works here, right? Okay. You can even flash W, but I would probably recommend against that because flash is important, right? You can just if you can get this for free with using ulti, I think that's fine, right? Okay. So this is just you were ready for this, but you didn't have the correct response. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's always hard to teach that because Xayah is just super hard. You have so many ways to respond, but not all of them are correct, right? He eventually gets it right, so it wasn't a complete disaster. But this is like you gotta play more Xayah.
Yeah.
Right, and or watch Xayah gameplay and copy it, right? Okay. Because you know that this is just way too far. You need to use your Q or just play for value. Like if you can't immediately follow up, it's just a normal 2v2. Right? Okay. Don't try and capitalize on his ulti knockup. It's already considered winning, right? Yeah. You don't need to immediately capitalize on this, right? You don't have to chain combo or anything like that. So if you had normally hit Vayne, who do you think would be winning?
Us.
Right, 100%, right?
Yeah.
Because all he has is auto attacks. He has no mana for contempt. It's impossible for them to win, right? So there's no way you guys lose. Even through these minions, Xayah is so strong with W that you can't lose, right?
Yeah.
So that's kind of the idea there. I think you need to leave. What is he doing? Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, well you get that kill for free. Oh, this guy's dead too. Nice knockup. Very clean. You don't need to get this kill. You just push, right? Push this wave in base. Sure. Oh. Why do we need to push that wave in?
Oh, did not push it in? Oh, that's awkward.
This is we're kind of seeing the same thing happen where it's right outside the tower, and that's the worst spot possible in lane. Like almost in every single lane, that's the worst spot, right? Unless you're trying to bait a gank or something like that.
I think what happened is I saw those first 2 minions crashing, so I was like, oh, the rest of the wave is gonna crash. But
right. They all gotta get in there before the other wave comes, right?
Yeah.
So the wave is already here. You're like, oh, you gotta push this, all right?
Yeah.
How come we want to push this instead of helping Dragon?
Because then if I push that, then the next wave's gonna crash, and they don't need help with Dragon, and Vane's gonna lose out on more.
Right, and even if he needed help with Dragon, I would still do this, unless it's Inferno Dragon, right? Unless it's something that's worth you losing minions, which is usually not the case, right? So that's probably where some of our CS deficit comes from as well, right? Is wave management, right? You need to shove it into the tower, right? That's why everyone's like, shove it before you base, because that's basically what happened, is that we didn't shove it before you base. We didn't shove it, right? We didn't get it into the tower before we based, right?
Yeah.
That's the big idea. And the other times is we didn't get it into the tower just during regular lane, right? You weren't even trying to base. You were just trying to do something else. And then we didn't push it in, and then we got problems. Okay, so you guys definitely don't want to do stuff bot, because they're all coming bot. Unless your whole team's here, then maybe. Oh, okay, what happened here?
I used D on both waves.
Right, and if you wanted to push and clear, then it could be fine, but why would I say it's not good here, right? Considering what we said before.
Fight soon, and it won't be up.
Well, what are you trying to do here? Remember, what positions do we want our lane to be in?
Closer to Wisp, but not.
Right, so this is freezing, right?
Yeah.
So you could say you want this because if they walk up, you immediately all in, and they can't do anything, right?
Okay.
So that might be something worth taking a look at, is based on matchup, where do you want the lane? If you're an all-in lane, you want it either completely shoved in, which is not usually possible, or in a spot where you can all in. So we're not saying that that's bad. I'm just saying that I probably would have taken that option, right? Because this is still fine, right? You can still all in them here. The difference is that Rek'Sai could be here instead of here, right? He would have to be closer to help, or Aurelion Sol has to be closer to help, or they have to, run farther away to get back to the tower safely, or something like that, right? And, if no one hits these minions, then you don't have control. You don't know which way it's pushing, right? So there's really no downside to freezing like this, right? The only downside would be we can't push it in as fast as this scenario. But in this game, it seems like they have an Aurelion Sol, they have a Rek'Sai coming bot. You don't really need, you don't feel any pressure to push. Right, you don't really have too many reasons to push, right? When you can just zone the shit out of them and they can't walk up. So, oh, they're coming bot again, right? Okay, and then sure, he's taking the ward. I think. Oh, that's not good. You need to leave. Okay, that is kind of awkward, right? How come we knew this wasn't good?
Because we saw Rek'Sai and Aesol walking. Even though Aesol's on the map, Rek'Sai could still be right there.
Right, Rek'Sai's here. We pretend Rek'Sai's right here. You guys lose ulti. It's kind of awkward, right? So, not your fault though, right? Completely not your fault. Let's see what's going on here. They're just gonna drag in. It's really hard for you guys to do anything. That's fine. Okay. I think we saw something happening here. Wow, nice E, right? So this is the second pattern where you W last, right? So this is winning. In terms of good follow-up / catch. That was really clean. Let's watch this again. Basically, Q, then 3 feathers, and then you eat, and then just W on the whole way, right? That was no way you can. Basically, they cannot beat that, right? That's why it's so strong. Very nice, very nice. Oh, this is winning. You guys have more people. Oh, that's not winning anymore. That's not winning anymore. Yeah, you're missing damage now. Okay, hold up, back it up. Let's see what's going on.
Don't ask why I healed. I don't know.
All right, so what happened here? What happened here?
I thought I could get my Q and my E back before she could ult, but
what happened here with what we just did right now?
Oh, hitting tower.
Well. Someone died, so you can say that hitting tower is fine, right?
Okay.
Unless silent TP and you guys die. But
Yeah.
what part about hitting tower did we do wrong, or that we maybe should not have done?
Walk to the left side of the lane.
Are we
closer to-
using anything to hit the tower?
Oh, or W.
Right. Why would we not want to use W right now?
Because they could fight us, and then I won't have it up.
All right. They're trying to defend, right?
Yeah.
And the other argument is that if you want to use W on the tower, use it on the back end of its health, right?
Oh, to finish it
Because
off.
right, yeah, exactly. So you guys are leaving immediately. Once you got the objective, you're trying to leave, so you don't need your W, right? But in this case, I don't think it really makes. You can't really say we're gonna use W twice now and in 16 seconds because I've literally never seen that work, right? That's how we know we can't do that. It's just never gonna happen, right? So here we just have no W, and then we kind of miss E, so you can't really do anything. I would not hit this guy, right? Because how do you kill him? How do you kill him? How do you kill Soraka?
I don't.
Right, you can't. No abilities. And
Yeah.
Brilliant Soul's coming, Silent TP, you guys are all dead. So the problem here was that we kind of using abilities on tower and we kind of missing our E. But, oh my god, you got away somehow. That was interesting. No way. This is actually turning out not bad. Oh, what's going on? Maybe you can catch Brilliant Soul. This is QE, right? QE is killing. Oh, okay, nice try. Well, that was just disaster, but
I think what happens next is when I got kind of tilted.
you're getting 1v1 by Vayne, is it?
Yeah, she tower dives me in the tier 2. Like she chases me all the way to tier 2.
I got the root off. You just have to leave because you know HP. So.
Oh no, because I say because LeBlanc's right there.
Oh, okay,
But
LeBlanc's
she
here.
just goes to Soraka.
Right. So now you gotta wait for a con, and then you're good to go. Or bait for LeBlanc. This works too,
Yeah.
I think.
I don't remember if she takes it.
There's no way, right? It's just she has no vision. Oh my god, this is free as fuck. What happened here?
She flashed out. I don't think he had W.
No, Rakan literally just missed.
He just. I don't think he had
the
W.
hell? No, he had W, right? Look, he just coming from base. How does he not have W?
I don't know. I'm just trying to.
There's no way. He just fucking missed. So not your fault. That was tragic. You just base, sure. So yeah, the problem with the tower hitting was use W on the tower.
Yeah.
And the second part is you got to remember, you always have to be paranoid when you hit the tower because remember I was like, okay, Aurelion Soul's coming, sign STP, can we win this? And the answer is no, right? So you have to know for some reason they have no silent TP, or Nautilus is gonna match it, or LeBlanc can match Aurelion Soul roam, right? You have to make sure that they can't stop it, right? Because as we saw, it kind of did not go as planned, right? So the best case, the general rule is don't use abilities on tower though, right?
Okay.
I think that applies to Xayah the most because people like to use W on the tower, right?
Yeah.
Like you'll see like some LCS players or challenger players might use it on tower, but most of the time that's just min maxing, right? Trying to squeeze out some more juice, right? That's definitely not what we need to do, right? I don't even do that, right? And I'm like at least halfway up the ladder, so it's definitely not needed, right? It's just that's extra stuff you definitely don't need to try and do. So never do it. It'll never help you. It'll either be min maxing or completely wrong, right? Yeah. So I would say never do it. I'll say never do it. There are like very few exceptions, right? Like getting the inhibitor tower, we're gonna die for it or something like that. But exceptions are basically never gonna come up. Okay, this is winning. You just ulti and you win, right? Okay, what happened here?
I still got stunned.
Right. So what do we do? How do we do this differently?
Wait till it's closer.
That's true. We can also just use ulti and go down, or we can just walk down and then use ulti, right? Anything like that.
Yeah.
But I think getting stunned here is not the greatest, but it's okay. It's gonna be okay because they're chasing, right? Okay. This is a root. Wait, what?
I think my third feather didn't come back. Wait, that's actually really awkward.
Wow, your auto attack feather didn't come back.
Yeah.
Really strange, but the thing you really want to worry about is the ulti, right?
Yeah.
It's just they're coming in. You know, the ulti is like you want to do something like this is just early and so specific, right? It's how to dodge early and so stun. You can do something like ulti and walk in on them, right? Or ulti and go down to the side, or you just hold on to ulti, anything like that. But I think you have the right idea. So we're not gonna really make a fuss because this is generally the right idea. It's just more mechanics, right? Xayah is just really hard to play. It turns out. Champion is insane in terms of mechanical skill cap. But you guys get the dragon, sure. The big ideas that will help you the most from what I'm seeing so far is just make sure that we're not dying to gank and wave management, right? So let's say you're playing poke versus trade lane. Where do you want the lane?
Oh, this is where she just continuously dies me. Poke versus we the poke of the trade.
Let's say you're a poke.
You want it halfway, right?
If it's halfway and they walk up and you poke them, they trade on you. Is that good or bad?
That was bad.
Right. So not quite good, right? So where would you want the wave?
Oh, maybe close to a tower, because if they if you poke and they try to walk up to trade, they have to potentially hit tower. Or get
okay,
hit
this is true. This is not a bad idea. I would say pretty good.
The wave pushed into them, because then if they try to trade, they lose minions.
Right, that's ideal. Is that you can just poke them for free on the tower, right?
Got it.
But of course, you know, if the jungler is ganking, you don't do that, right?
Yeah.
If you're gonna die to jungling. So tell me what happened here. This is a different idea that we haven't really discussed, but
I think the mechanical thing is I didn't have 3 feathers up.
No mechanics involved. This is automatically losing for one reason. What's that reason?
I'm trolling, and it's a 2v1.
Right, it's 2v1. You could say Master Yi's here, but they can just hit you and leave, and that's already losing, right? So what do you want to do instead when it's 2v1?
Wait for them to complete your push into it.
Right. So this is just the classic. You just gotta wait, man. Right. Anywhere that's not in your tower range is a mistake.
Yeah.
Right.
After I died to this, I knew I just hardcore trolled and shouldn't have been pushed up that far.
Right. And then of course it's just like goodbye all the minions, right? Someone else is gonna have to get it, but we lost a bunch of minions there, so that's kind of awkward. And then you want to push this out, sure. There's Soraka's top or something. No, it's just the 3 of them. Oh, Soraka's top. Okay, so you can just kill this guy, right? You can kill her by yourself, but Rakan better have flash or something if he's walking up like this. Oh, so good. How come we're missing our W though? That's kind of awkward.
Oh, I used it too early.
Right.
Because I thought he was in range, so I used it now because I thought he'd just like do Rakan shit and go halfway across the screen. But
right. One thing we can say to help you on mechanics is don't use W, right? Okay. Unless you know absolutely for sure you're gonna hit something, because something like this will happen where you don't have W and then he's gonna get away, right?
Yeah.
So that's really awkward. But oh, this is chasing. Maybe you guys can win. Oh, probably not. There, you have no team. You gotta run. Okay, how can we stop to kill this thing?
Good question. I
think you definitely want to run.
Yeah.
But let's fast forward. Wait, what? Oh my god, LeBlanc found Soraka somehow. Okay. You still want to run though, right? Okay, fine. You can even camp a bush if you think you can get Vayne or something like that. But okay, what do we do here that maybe we could do instead? What can we do here that what's an alternative to basing here?
Go do Krugs.
Okay, but there's something better than that.
Pushing.
Is the wave pushing?
It's pushing towards us. That's what I'm saying. Like to go do Krugs and wait for the wave to push, and then just go catch the wave.
Well, why do we need to wait for the wave to come in?
Because they were all down there, and I thought I'd die if I walked up.
Wait, but Rek'Sai's here, right?
True.
And Soraka's dead, so I feel like there's no way for them to stop you from getting the wave, right?
Yeah.
So you can push out and then do something else, like I would say maybe Krugs or go mid or something like that. But basing is not the worst option if you can catch mid instead. Sure, I think that's fine. It's just remember you want to maximize your gold income. Oh my god, this guy's feels bad, dude.
To stop his E, because I had the feathers right there.
It's true, but I think it's also really hard to say because
Yeah.
you didn't. It wasn't for that purpose, so we didn't know that we needed it or something like that.
Yeah.
So I'll just say, don't worry about this. Nice try. You guys didn't have ult, so it could have been disaster too. But Xayah is dead apparently, so there's no way this loses. I guess it's just nice try. Rakan just missed. Okay, what's going on now? We seem to have this habit of
Wing too early.
right.
Yeah.
It's like we're not even close, right? Think about it this way: it is better to auto attack normally and then W than it is to W too early and then you get nothing, right?
Okay.
That's what I want you to think. And even better than that is just don't W and you always have it.
Yeah.
Right. Because this worst case scenario is using ability and it does nothing. That's like the absolute worst case, right? So we have no damage to kill this guy anymore. So that's the problem here is that we just have no W, right? And then in terms of TV2 fighting, it's like you need to know that you want to dodge his stun, so you can't run right at him, right? Or if you run right at him, you need your ulti, right? Something like that. So you guys get away though, so I guess it's okay.
With my W is that I'm so used to the old W where it gave it to Rakan if he autoed, but they changed it so now it's only Xayah.
Well, they change it. The Rakan gets the W, right? It's that when they both hit the same target, the damage is not double.
Hers,
right. So Rakan is still getting it, but that's giving it to Rakan only is only worth at level 1.
Okay.
Right. Anytime else, you don't give a shit about Rakan stuff. You don't give a shit about giving Rakan. He doesn't need that. This doesn't really do anything, right? Unless you're trying to eke out more damage on their backline. So it's basically only for you. W is only for you. That's what I want you to think. And if you're ever like finding that you're using it too early, right, then you need to not use it until you're sure, like 100% sure this guy's just gonna die. Oh my god, no way. Master Yi's got him, I think. Holy crap, how did he build up enough speed to go in that direction? What is this? That's crazy. He just immediately turned like 90 degrees and it's like, see ya. Okay, getting tower is fine, right? They can't stop you. Oh, okay, this is a dicey spot. How do we know this is not good? Or how do we know that this could be dicey?
Because it's a... I don't know. Actually.
It's not immediately clear that you're winning this, right? So looks kind of dicey, but you hit the closest guy, right? The reason why, the more advanced reason is you guys are stuck in this choke point, right? Okay. So how did they get out? But turns out that, Nautilus has flash and Rakan's going to dash out. So you guys are fine. And then hit the closest guy is winning. So that's fine. And you did perfectly fine there. It's just we're seeing some kind of, just outside of laning, we're just seeing some kind of mechanical issues. Is kind of masking any other kind of issues there could be, right? Because mechanical issues make it so that you can't really do anything. You can press E here, I think. This guy's dying for sure. I don't know what he's doing, but that was fine. That was good. Fast forward, do dragon, sure. And then you can base. You can even. What else can you do here?
Go mid.
Right. Why is that?
Because it's gonna be pushing into us and. There isn't, and it's gonna be under a tower, so I don't really have to.
Right. So you know why we're watching this, but you just gotta do it in game, right?
Yeah.
So the reasoning is that they push into your tower. Who picks up the wave? No one. You're LeBlanc spacing, so you need to pick it up, right? Master Yi is not picking it up, right? So you guys just lose it all for free. It's just it doesn't make sense, right? If you wanted to base, you shouldn't have done dragon, for example, right? You would base right now and let them do dragon, or you could say that our temple for this Earth Dragon is not worth for whatever reason, and I would say that's completely fine. But maybe it's worth because you guys can get Baron, but that just means you can't back, right? Okay. So this is like the case where we give up something for free when we didn't have to, right? But when in doubt, if you can pick up waves and they can't kill you, you should do it, right? If you can pick up waves and there's no punish, you should do it, right? Because that's where your consistent money is gonna come from. Okay, what happened here? What happened here again?
I W'd.
Right. So it's really one of the biggest mechanical problems is just using W, right? And I actually think it'll fix the problem that happened earlier when Rakan ultied Soraka and you W'd.
Okay.
Right. It's the same. That was the same. That was actually very similar, if not the same thing, right? So on Xayah, you just need to make sure you can hit someone before you press W, right? This is just one way stomp apparently because the Aurelion and Soraka keep dying, but you just fast forward past this stuff. Oh,
We overstayed and I died.
That's pretty troll. Okay, well, let's watch a different game
Yeah.
and see if we're seeing the same kind of ideas. But it looks like on Xayah, we have some kind of mechanical issue that's not letting us do other stuff that we should be able to do.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense. Let's see what's going on in this game.
And it seems like a lot of my games are one-sided. I don't know if that's just League of Legends or if that's like something I'm doing that is making it one-sided. But it feels like a lot of my games this season have like either one team, like one of the teams is stomping really hard. It's rare that it's like a super close game.
Right, I think it's
So I don't know if like that's a meta or
it's probably just like solo
big
queue, you know.
elo. Yeah.
Not much else to say.
Okay.
There are gonna be a lot of games that are super one-sided, but I think that these games, one-sided or not, can be most of the time are be able to be won, like 80% of them, right? If you play clean and go basically perfect farm 0-0-0, you can carry, right?
Okay.
Even if it's one-sided or not, right? In either direction. Let's see what's going on here. Somehow Karma's not being able to land any poke, so feels bad. Okay, hold up. What ability do we start?
W.
When do you start W on Xayah?
Was it con?
Yes, so what support do we have?
Not a con.
What ability do we want?
W. Oh,
No.
Well, we want Q.
Yes, we want Q. So you can't do anything.
See, this is
You can't do anything.
I never know because when I play, I feel like W, like if there's some like early level 1 trading shenanigans, W does a lot more than Q. And since it's so Q, I'm like, it's more likely we're gonna do some weird monkey shit. So I just take W in the case of some.
You never take W.
happens.
You never take W. You W. Okay, so W is for all in, right? It'd be really good if you can all in, right? So they have Bard and Caitlyn, and you have Xayah and Karma. When can you find an all in?
Pretty much never.
If you sit in their tri-bush and they leash, right? Or if you sit at their first bush and they're coming into lane. I would say the first bush can work, even with Bard Q, because you can flash it or something like that. But if that doesn't happen, then you can't take W.
Okay.
Right? Because, you know, we're in this situation where it's absolutely useless, right? Because, you know, what happens when you walk up?
Bard just slaps me.
Right. You're just automatically losing, right? Let's see. Back it up. We have W right now. Okay, so how do we use our W here?
Right.
Like maybe here, right? But we didn't use it. So, and if you had it, you can even argue that you press W, you chase them down. That's pretty good. And, you know, versus you auto attack and use Q, maybe that's not as good. But Q is going to be good more times than W is going to be good. Okay. Like almost every time, right? It's just like not only at level 1, level 2, how do you root someone? You have a gank coming, how do you root someone? You can't root someone. Right.
Yeah.
It doesn't work here because you have W, right? So just
level 2, would I take E or would I take?
Yeah, you take E, of course you take E, and then level 3 is you take W, right? But it's just you guys can't do anything, right? You can't even root for Karma to land a free Q because you have no Q, so it's really awkward, right? That's why you have no control of the lane. You didn't have an ability basically.
Got it.
It's kind of awkward, but now we're level 3, so it's different. It's just damage has been done. Karma has no health or something. So yeah, definitely take Q level 1, right? And E level 2, unless you're with Rakan, right? Because you guys can actually kill someone, right? There even any other level 1 all-ins? I don't even think so. So
maybe if you take.
This is tragic. You guys are dying. Even if you flash. Oh, let's watch this. How do you die here?
I get Bard Q'd.
Bard flash Qs, right? So this is death. So how do we stop this?
No, it's a Zac and no, he can gank from
Let's back it up.
10 miles away.
So you see Zac bot side. Where do you put your ward?
In the bush, in river bush.
This one. So how do you do it?
You walk up to the little slit in the wall and put it on like the left side of the waterfall.
Right. So you know how it works, right?
Yeah,
so you got. You
probably see it in the game.
Oh,
I do it all the time.
Oh, this guy's doing it. I think he's trying to do something here.
I think she was trying to do it, but
right. So Okay, so that's one thing, and then next is this is Zach specific, right? So it's kind of interesting because you're showing me some kind of like Aurelion Soul specific or Zach specific, how they make you change the way you play. You can even say this is Rek'Sai too, but when Zach ganks, what's the most important thing to dodge? That's not the E, obviously.
The Q.
Right, because if you get hit by the Q, you're dead.
Yeah.
Like every time, you're gonna die. So when you see something like this, you have two things.
That Zach's gonna gank.
You stand as far away as possible from his jumping point.
Okay.
And
so he has to walk further up to do it.
Right, or he can't actually he can't reach this early.
Yeah,
he can't reach this early. And then the second is you must dodge Q no matter what. So if you screw up and you get hit by it,
I thought I dodged it there, but obviously I didn't. So.
Right, so
I mean, at least I dodged the E.
The thing I'll help you the most is stay the farthest away from the wall. That's where they're coming from, right? Kane, Rek'Sai, right? Any of these champions, you need to stay further away from the wall, right? So you don't even have to word this as long as you're standing on this end, right? This side, and make sure you're not getting hit by like Brightstein or something. But you know, Karma's gonna hit him in the face if he tries. So I think we have a it actually turned out to be a good outcome, but you should have died. Right, and good outcome is because you know he ganked and he didn't get anything. Right, getting flash is not good enough, I would say. So I think we're also seeing a recurring problem with dying to gank, right? And if we're let's back it up, right? So how do we kind of prevent this situation? You know, they're pushing us in. How do we get ganked, right? If we just last hit these. How do we get ganked? Did you push?
No.
Okay, I don't think you're pushing here. You're just trying to match them.
Yeah.
And then
I think I just try to keep it from crashing at the tower.
I think we're trying to hit here too. I think you want to just go for last hits.
Yeah.
Right. But he's definitely up to something. Look at this. He was pushing the whole time, and now he's just standing here. But one of the ideas of wave management you can take away from this is that this is gonna push back towards them because these minions are grouped up.
Yeah.
Right. In our example in the last game, they were out. Your minions were out here, so their minions were gonna die. If that makes any sense, right?
Yeah.
It's different in this case. This is the standard. Your minions grouped up and they're pushing in because he pushed it into tower. So they have control over the wave, but it's just the thing I'll help you the most is just stay away from the wall. That's what I learned, right? Is stay away from the wall because that's where they're coming from, right? This is Bard too. He's gonna come over the wall as well, with his Bard portal. So anything you're playing against anyone with a movement ability and you do not have one, you stay away from the wall, right? Champions who like to be next to the wall or something like maybe Ezreal, you can jump over the wall, right? Or probably not Lucian, but Ezreal is probably the biggest one I can think of right now. But everyone else, you want to stay away from that because that's where they're coming from. Yeah, maybe Corky, right?
If he's played.
Oh my, another Zach. What's going on here? What the fuck? All right, interesting. You can push this in because he has no jump.
I think I was scared of the Bard just walking over and just portaling.
Of course, like on this side or something like that. Sure.
Yeah. I remember when I was playing, it was like, I'm just gonna do what he says and be 100% paranoid all the time. So I didn't work out.
Right. Sure, push this in. Oh, this is the Bard portal. Wait, what is this? What is going on? You guys can kill these guys. Oh, okay, never mind.
Karma had no mana, that's why I didn't want to fight. And she's
right.
HP.
Sure. Just push this in. Sure. You can take this fight, I think. Okay, never mind. He's out. I feel like a recurring theme of your gameplay is also our wave is screwed up. So in terms of how you want it to, first is you want to know what you want ideally, right? Okay. So in this case, what do you want?
Then like for this lane.
Yeah, for this wave right now, what do you want? In this situation, what do you want to do?
For it to push into tower.
Right. So how do you do that?
Hard push it.
Right. You use your abilities and get out because this is a spot where you're getting ganked in. What's the alternative? What if you can't do this?
Then just back off and we'll wait for her to push it and have to give up CS.
Right. We just sit here and just get XP or something, right?
Yeah.
So I would say in this case you can look to push this in, right? Because you see Zach, you're like, okay, we need to shove this in right now, right? But I think we're seeing you have to know when you want to push. I think is the big idea here because it's always in a really good spot for them. You know what I'm saying? Somehow it always ends up being right there. So when we say don't use abilities on minions, it's don't use abilities on minions when you're gonna fight.
Okay.
Right. But when you push this in, it's indicating that you do not want to fight. Right. You're just trying to get out. You're just trying to make the wave good. Right. Because she can't tank, what is this, 6 minions? Right. They can't tank 6 minions. Right. If they tank 6 minions, you come back and you push again and they try and fight you, you kill them. So that's the reasoning in terms of, why we can do this is because they can't just hold the minions there. Right. You have too many minions if you hard push. But we're seeing a common trend how it's like it ends up like this. You need to kill all these minions right now. Right. They can't really stop you. Look how many minions you have, right? So you shouldn't be afraid of clearing these and kind of getting out. Wow, what's going on here? Hold up.
So we should have fought them.
Right, why is that?
Because she's walking in the middle of 6 minions.
And we saw Zach, right? Zach's doing red right now, and even if Zach came over, you would have warning, right, in advance. So they can't win, right? They can't win in that. Even if Karma has no mana, she has enough for a Q, right? So I think that's winning for you guys, but you still need to push this in, right? Okay, push this in. Oh, we're seeing like it's like kind of the same thing that's going on, right? Is shove it into their tower.
Okay.
Is what you need to do, right? When it's like slow pushing like that, you need to pull the trigger and push it all into the tower and back off, right? And go ward, right? Otherwise, you're gonna have some kind of random CS deficit, which is what's going on right now. This is gank position, I think, where they can gank you, right? You're gonna have to use your ulti for bot ulti or what's going on here?
I think I know what. Yeah, I remember this happening. I know I misplayed how I died.
This is the same. You can do the same thing to them here, right? Hopefully. Oh.
Yeah. Okay. Because I was thinking, that's awkward. I missed again. I was thinking of freezing it and like just tanking the minions and waiting for like our minion wave so it froze our outside of a tower. But since Bard and Kate were right there, I was scared of them just walking up and just like.
Right, it's perfectly fine, right? They're hitting you, so you can't do it. You say that's fine, right? But you know that you can try, and they have to come and stop you or something like that. So it was a nice attempt. Sad we missed a cannon. Here, what's the pattern here? What should you do here?
Freeze it.
You should slow push. There's no freeze here, right? There's no freeze here. Your wave is pushing in. So the standard strategy is last hit this, last hit the next one, so you have a wave, and then shove it in, right? Yeah, shove it in. So here we can't shove it in because it's not going to reach the tower, right? So here this is a slow push, and then if she hitting back, it's no longer a slow push. You're just trying to match wave, right? You're just trying to make sure it's not shoving into your tower. And then now this is slow push again, right? So
is there like a cookie cutter strat to know when to slow push? Oh, like what wave to slow push and what wave to fast push? Right.
This is the cookie cutter strat is when it's like this. Right outside your tower, you can't shove it all in. You slow push.
Okay.
Right, that's the cookie cutter strat.
Just last hitting.
Yes, just last hitting. Because if you don't do anything, it's already a slow push. Right. Okay. So and you obviously want the minions. So what's the minimum you do to get the minions? You just last hit. Right. And then he's trying to push this back. Then there's no more slow push. Right. Then you're like, okay, we match waves or hard push. Right. We can't hard push, so we're gonna match waves. So that's kind of how you can figure out what you want to do. Right. In this case, okay, they're all mid. Can you help?
Okay, this is
I can't see.
The J4 was fighting me. I don't give a shit about him, but I was wondering if I made the wrong decision.
No, this fight is too fast, right? I think you should have taken a look, but the fight is too fast, right? And how do you know it's too fast? They have a Bard, so you can't really get there. Like Karma started running, and she didn't even get there in time. So how are you supposed to get there in time?
That's what I was thinking, because Karma started running, she didn't get there, and also Nivea, like by the time I could have even started moving, she was already dead.
Right. So you did the right thing. You want to push this out, right?
But yeah, I probably should have just looked.
You just mute them because there's nothing you could do there. Right? Yeah. Especially like I don't know why they're like in their jungle, but I don't think that makes sense, right? Seems good. Oh, maybe because they're like, oh, Victor's dead, so we should try and do something. But
yeah, I think Nivea went to go get a catch on Zach, and then J4 helped. But then since they had priority, they roamed first.
Right. It's not your fault. You should definitely push there, right? But you definitely should look, right? If the fight is going slow enough, then you can come, right? You can come up from behind or something like that, and you say, we have man advantage, so this is winning. But apparently the fight, she just died immediately, so what are you supposed to do, right?
Yeah.
Not much. There's not much you can do. right? The other side to this is something like let me see. Let's say you guys knew that they were invading or something. Oh wait, maybe there's a fight going on the whole time. Let me see. Oh, I think in this case, you can say something like, you need to take a look here as well. Because you can fight them to prevent them from going to help their team, for example, right?
Oh, okay.
Right, so that's actually something we can take a look at, right? Because they went missing when there was like a fight going on. So
Yeah.
I think you had a lot of time to go, actually. If you take a look, if you start from here.
Okay, if I looked right, got it.
Right, if you start from here, you have a lot of time. But if you start from here, if you didn't know until now, then you can't do anything, right?
Okay.
But here, you have to take a look for sure, right? Is something's going on mid and they're coming down to your side, right? If they went to top side, you can't do anything, but they're coming down into your side of the map. So you take a look, you say, okay, Jarvan's coming, Zach's here. This is just 4v4, so we should go, right?
Okay.
Or you can say, you can try and what's it called? Attack them when they're trying to go, right? Something like that. So that's something you can definitely take a look at. And how do you know you can go do that without losing minions?
Tell them the what?
How do you know you can go help without losing minions? From this picture. Which way is it pushing?
Into us.
Right, so it's freezing. So you're not going to lose any minions if you go. So they're the ones being punished right now. Is they didn't shove it under your tower. So you can go help immediately. But we can say that since we didn't see, you end up pushing because you didn't know earlier. So you could also say that's fine. But definitely one thing you can work on is map awareness, right? Is you always have to take a look at the map whenever you're trying to do something. And that'll help you determine whether or not you're trying to push this wave or if this gank is coming or if there's a fight going on. Right, I think it's something you can work on. But honestly, this is just lane only right now, right? Because we haven't really gotten to seeing anything out of lane, I think, besides some kind of mechanical fight with Rakan. Let's see. Push this out. I would say the same thing here, right? About your W.
Okay.
Right, because where's Bard and Caitlyn, for example?
Somewhere walking the lane.
Right, we're not completely sure, so you should save it, I would say. Right. I would say definitely save it, right? You don't need to immediately kill that tower. So this guy, you can probably dive. You can just, oh, okay, he took some damage. You guys can definitely dive now.
Yeah.
What happened to Karma to Q? Why did she miss? Okay, if she gets stunned, you should ulti. Okay, let's try. Fast forward. Let's see what's going on. Okay, Bard's probably back. Oh, hello, Bard. You just leave. This is fine. What? What? Interesting.
That's so cute.
Right, so in terms of general ideas, we're seeing things you can work on
Wave
is
management.
lane. Yeah, lane specifics is wave management and checking the map. I think is really important. What is going on? This is not working. Wait, hold up. What are we doing here?
Yeah, I don't know why I walked up. It's an excellent question.
Hold up. Okay, in this situation, you see a gank coming. It's 2v3. You have both sums up. What do you do?
Stay in the tower and just try to fight.
Okay, so this is true, right? You have a few options here. Hit the guy tanking tower, right?
Yeah.
Clear the minions or start focusing someone because now they're dying, right? So they have to do something, right?
Yeah.
What is your ult used for in this case?
Either dodging Bardo or Zackle.
Right. I would say Bard Q, right?
Or
We're
Bard Q.
gonna target Bard Q or Bardo, right? And then just go for value, right? So this is a standard. Use their ulti to dodge something, go for value. But I think we're kind of getting hit by everything. Oh, okay. Use different to dodge Bardo, so this is already winning, right? As long as we're doing. Oh.
Yeah, I shouldn't have done that.
Okay, I guess you guys defended the dive, but that's the general idea is when you're in a losing fight, you just go for maximum value, right?
Okay.
On your abilities, right? Use your ulti to dodge. This Bard Q is great, but right. So something like using W on Bard. How do we know that's good value?
Because we're killing him, and then he's gonna have to either walk away or just let me free hit him.
Right, you're getting the most out of your W, right? You're just getting as many auto attacks as humanly possible, right?
Yeah.
So that's kind of how we know, right? It's just W, and then how do we know E is good? Well, we're gonna E flash or something like that, right? Yeah. How do we know ulti is good? We dodge something, right? And then in that way, you just automatically kill someone here. Hopefully. That's the idea. Oh my god, the repeat. What is going on? Oh, he's dying. Oh, Bardo on tower. We have kind of the same thing going on here though, right?
Yeah.
So when you don't know, when you're not sure, you need to be 100% sure before you use this ability. This is one of Xayah's most important abilities. That's not ulti, right? The other one is E, right? But if Xayah doesn't have this ability, this champion is probably not good, right? What's going on here? Okay, this guy's stuck. Nice. Okay, good follow up. You can kill this guy too. This is E flash on his face. I think we're looking for it. Oh, this is awkward. All right.
Yeah, and I just died.
Oh no! All right, let's take a look. All right, what happened here? Let's take a look.
I think. Well, I didn't E. And I think at that point, as soon as she flashed away, I should have just backed up.
Right. It's
I
just
went too ham.
Some forms of disaster in terms of Gangplank ulti was super unlucky, but you can also argue that there's no clear way to kill him here. I think you can actually kill him here if you had the E flash, but he has flash apparently, so it's not gonna work anymore, right? You just need to run up this way, right? You can still leave. How do they kill you? They can't. But then you try and do it anyways, right? Even if you know it works, even if you know it doesn't work, you try to do it anyways, right? So I think it is good to look for it, but if something's not working, right, don't keep doing it, right? In this case, it's more of we would want to practice trigger discipline on your abilities. Okay, like what's the use of using E here?
Nothing.
So don't use it, right? It's better to die and not use it because at least you're not building a bad habit, which I think is what's going on right now. In terms of using your W, at least, right, is that we have a bad habit of just using it the first opportunity we think we can touch someone, right? Which is not always the best value. And oftentimes I think we're just not even in range of someone when we use it, right? Okay, what should we do here when he wants to do dragon? Yeah. You're losing minions. It's always about this wave management for you, right? You gotta push. You always gotta push first, right? I think we lost like a wave right there, right? Just straight up. So unless you literally needed this now and it was like Inferno, then you go help. But even if it was Inferno, I would probably say something like, I gotta push this first, right? I'm not helping until I push this. So you gotta push first. That's where a lot of our money is missing. Oh, if you die for this, it's not worth it. You have ulti.
For this, but I should have just backed off.
This is winning now. You just have to flash on this Kaylin. Oh, what's going on? Wait, this is winning. Hold up.
Could we have killed her?
Right. How do you know?
Well, he missed Bite Q, and I have feathers down.
So if you're playing for value, how do you fight?
E flash and then just W K1.
Right, or you could do W and auto attack and then E flash, right?
Okay.
Anything like that, but remember W maximum value. LT to dodge something, which you already did one part of that. So W maximum value is right here. You just hit him.
Okay.
Right. As long as you think that it's 2v2.
I think the reason that I didn't fight is because of how low like Karma was by the time I like got out of ult and could have autoed her.
Right, but
I thought we were just lost anyway.
Support health is irrelevant, right? In terms of value, right? It's irrelevant as long as she like used shield and landed Q. Okay, so she missed Q, but she's giving you time to like hit this guy for free, right? Like if you think about it in terms of who has more value, Bard or Karma, neither of them are doing anything. Right? If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
So this is just 1v1 then, where she's hitting a target dummy and you hit her, right? So completely winning. The only time you say you don't do this is you think that there's some kind of Gangplank ult, TF ulti, Zac, I don't know, something like that. In which case, you should just not have hit this tower, right? But I think that if you're in a losing situation, go for value, right? That's just the cookie cutter strategy, right? That'll either go even or win, right? So I think you can kill this guy for sure, right? You're playing Xayah, so
this is it. I should have kept walking up and flash, and I'm dead. And I think I flashed anyway. I should have flashed up or over the wall.
Right. I think we should have turned here, but it's hard to say. Like if you're going for this tower, what's the reasoning? Just because it's low is not really a good reason, right? So I would say, you know, the other idea is if you're not sure, you can just get this tower and leave. Don't do it.
Okay.
All right, what do you do instead?
Go do Gromp and then either back or just wait for them to push the wave and then.
All right, you can't back. Remember, once you like do Gromp or something, you got to come back and clear the wave, right? I would do something like you're gonna hide in this bush because you know they're gonna push, right? Or hide in that pink ward, right? Something like that. I think would be very effective. But this is why, you know, most of the time tower sieging is not a good idea. Is because most people are not ready for the implications, right? Is that they're coming, you gotta fight. Their backup is coming, your backup might be coming, right? So it's like super complex when it comes to fights under tower, but most of the time this is gonna happen. You're gonna die, right? That's why we say don't do it, right?
I think I flash anyway. Oh yeah.
Right, we're just dead here, so there's no way. And it's like it's not worth, right? Because you're about to lose your tower. Watch, right? Fast forward. Oh, okay, maybe not. You know, maybe their millionaire's missing. What's going on here? Either your whole team is dying, or yeah, your whole team is dying. So right. I was like, I'm not sure how you defend this. Oh wow, here we go. TPs are coming in. There better be a Gangplank TP too. Maybe Gangplank's just gonna ulti or something. I don't know what's going on anymore. But now it's just like the game is like it's just messed. It's just we have no idea what's going on anymore, right? It's like we're basically giving up control of the game, right? Our share of control is gone when we do something like hit tower and it goes wrong, right?
Okay.
So I would say definitely I would recommend against that unless you know you can get out for whatever reason, right? What's our reason? Oh, maybe we have ulti. Okay, then it didn't work. So that tells you that Bard ulti is really strong in terms of ganking, right? Wow. Wait, hold on. Let's watch this fight. What's going on here?
I missed my E, which was troll.
Well.
Oh no, I got his passive.
Right, we're standing in the Zac stun, right? You just hit the closest guy, sure. And this is winning. You just hit the closest guy still. Oh my god. Okay, that was a good E. Oh, this is a free W, maybe. Okay, it looks like they just back off. So I think we played it fine. I don't know what to say except don't stand in Victor W. It's like, yes, you were trying to finish off Zac, right? So maybe you could say something like, I'm going to get stunned, but I'm going to get his passive. But I think you can say that he's dying to Vlad. So remember, you being safe is number one priority.
Yeah.
Right? Chasing to finish off a kill is actually how you lose fights, right? Like here's a classic example where I'm playing Ezreal, right? Am I playing Ezreal or am I playing Caitlyn? Let me see. Here we go. I think it's this one where I'm doing the exact same thing you were, right? Okay, look at this fight, right? Who am I trying to finish off in this picture?
Kled.
Right, and maybe Twitch, right? Oh, all of a sudden, what happened?
Ezreal comes out now and you just kill yourself.
Right, so that's the idea, is that you can't, you need to make sure, otherwise automatically losing. Right? Yeah. You need to make sure, 100%, right? So in this case, you can't just walk through the stun and barrel, right? This is actually how you guys lose. So if he had shot this barrel, we got a problem, I think. Good thing he didn't. He killed Vlad though. That's kind of awkward. But yeah, you need to make sure that when you're doing these fights, it's just hit the closest target. Can't lose. Look at this, right? You just kill this guy for free. Sure. Oh, you killed Karma, whatever. I think it's a good trade. But honestly, the fighting hasn't been that bad, I would say.
Yeah,
it's just
from like my own me trying to figure out. I'm pretty sure it's just my laning that makes me
right. Somehow
I should be.
Our wave management is kind of weird, right? So best way to learn wave management is watch like some streamer or some replay, right? And then you ask yourself, what would I do here? Right? Why did he push or why did he freeze? Right? So the reason why I know, we're gonna slow push this is because I watched a bunch of Korean players and they always slow pushed it. There's no exception. Always slow push. Right when they got back to lane. When the wave is like right at their tower, right?
Yeah,
is that they always slow pushed it. Right. Here push and then go do scuttle and come back. Very good. Oh, okay, fight's going on. Maybe you can help this. Oh, it's looking kind of weird, but if you can get really good value on this Caitlyn, you're winning. Oh, okay, you guys won, right? As long as you can ulti something, you're good to go. Okay. Yep, winning, right? Essentially all the things were right there, right?
Yeah.
It's just use W for maximum effect, and then you automatically win, right? Literally nothing she can do. Good champion, Xayah. But let's see what's going on here. Okay, it doesn't seem like there's anything obvious, so you just push the wave. Oh, what happened to her? Why is she out here? Okay, you gotta leave, right? I think you gotta leave. Oh, you're dying here. Oh, you didn't get stunned somehow. I think you're still dying though. Right. So what happened here?
I chased one I shouldn't have.
Right. Similar kind of story. In terms of trying to finish off this guy. Right.
Yeah. The thing is, I saw J4, so I was like, we can take the 2v2.
That's true. You guys have some kind of man advantage going on, so it's okay. It's just, you know, when you're against another carry and they're hitting you, that's something to consider, right? Especially the later the game goes on, he touches you once, you're dead, right?
Yeah.
Right now, it's not. We're not at that point, but he's strong enough to kill you, right? So that might be something you want to take a look at. But I think for sure some kind of wave management would help you a lot for laning, right? In terms of the out of lane stuff, you know, map awareness is always good to work on, but it seems like we have decent map awareness when it comes to trying to help fights. Okay, I don't know if we want to help this. Oh, yep, this is winning. All right, you just kill this guy. What is he doing? Where did all his HP go? I think that was Vladimir or something.
I don't know.
Yeah, that was Vlad Q, right? So
I think it was Vlad Q on top of the J4 ult.
Right. And your W crit. So okay. You can hit this while you have minions, but you gotta leave after this. So this is, for example, this is a time to use W when you have one minion, right? And you gotta finish this up. Okay, this is getting dice. Actually, this is doable, right? I was like, okay, maybe, but doable. Very nice. So it looks like the out of lane stuff is not too bad, especially when you're pushing your waves first, right? It looks very good. Team fights is just don't chase, but overall, you definitely have the right idea, right? Your W is very good in these last few fights. Okay, what's going on here? You're using your ulti to dodge something usually, right? Usually, you have the right idea when it comes to these fights. Oh, how come we're so close to this guy?
The reason I was so close is because I didn't see his Q, so I thought he'd still have to throw it out. So it's like, oh, I can just dodge it, but he had it attached already.
Right, and then you can't get in here because Gangplank, fine.
Yep.
You don't see a flash play, that's fine, right? You don't need to do anything crazy like that. You're already winning. Yeah, okay, fine, good. So looks like these team fights are pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. If things go wrong, it's, you know, laning is definitely something that your peers are better at, I think, right now. Okay, this Baron is not working. Oh my god. You guys actually got the Baron. Let me watch.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Holy crap, that was too close. This is the new patch, right? Dude, Baron is actually impossible to kill right now.
It takes so long, and the Rift Tail is really good too.
Jesus.
You can get like 3 turrets and hit off one Rift Tail.
Yeah, it's pretty insane. I noticed. Baron is just it's not the go-to anymore when you kill their team. You actually can't even. Sometimes, you know, I noticed that a lot of times you don't even have the damage to do it. So, okay, what happened here? What happened here? Okay, he flashed in, so maybe at the ulti, sure. Hit the closest guy, sure. Eat a root. I think it's all fine, right? So far, we're doing good. Okay, Gangplank comes out. You gotta leave. Okay, there's a flash play here. Nope. Okay, there it is. And then he's winning. Okay, so looks like, you know, team fighting seems pretty good.
It takes us a while to end, just because we team controls a bit.
Oh, it's kind of awkward. We're dying to Caitlyn here. Okay, hold up. This is same idea, I think, is going on here, right? If there's anything to look at your team fighting, it's stop chasing. Right? Okay. When you think you're in danger, you're more important than you should think you're the most important player, right? Especially since you're really strong, right?
Yeah.
So trading is not necessarily good, right? Any kind of play you want to make should end up with you being alive, or you kill the whole team and then you die, right? Otherwise, it's not worth, right? I think you know, sometimes some of these cases are borderline, but a lot of these cases are just straight up we're just dying, right? Yeah. So to like the band-aid fix is just no chase in team fights. There's don't chase at all. Even in lane, don't chase, right? That's kind of something you can look at, right, for out of lane stuff. And then wait, here Nivea's walling you, seems good. And then okay, we just push, sure. Push mid first before we do something. What's going on? Oh, team got caught.
Kills herself.
All right, so we gotta go. What do we do here as well?
W.
Right. So that's something. If there's anything to work on for mechanics, definitely do not use W unless you know for sure you're hitting someone. Okay. It's like so important. It's like so important because if you use W and you don't hit anyone and the team fight is a loss, it's probably because we didn't get to hit anyone.
Yeah.
Right. So it's really important. Look how much damage you're doing to this guy with your W. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Let's take a look. It's disgusting. Right. That's why it's so important for you to not like use it. Right.
Yeah.
Unless you can hit someone. So for sure save it for maximum value. Okay. This guy's. Oh, okay. Couldn't catch him. Whatever.
Yeah, I got caught by the slow.
Oh, okay. You guys are just trying to shove this in. I'm not sure if this is working. Their Zach is already up, so you probably don't want to do this. You just want to push and then like go somewhere else, right? Okay, this is losing. Anivia's not gonna get here in time. Oh, never mind.
Anivia's tops, and she brought
Victor's top
Victor,
too.
so
This is still 4v4. I don't know how you guys do this unless you find some kind of good engage. Oh, they threw. Okay, you win, right? This is winning. All you have to do is ulti this. Oh my god. Oh my god. What's going on? So we lost because we didn't ulti that, right?
yeah.
Or could we have even ultied it? I'm pretty sure you can
No,
ulti that in time.
I got
You can't.
Zach queued into his ult instantly.
Ah, I see. So is that unstoppable? No, it looks like you had time.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Oh, no time.
I actually had no time to ult because I was mashing it too.
Oh, there is no time to ulti. Okay, well, in that case, it's just you got pooped on. This engage was just you have to know they're engaged, right? So what's their engage?
Yeah, I should have expected him to eat and then flash onto me because I'm the most fed.
Right. What's their engage though? It's not just Zach, right?
Bard or GP.
Right, Bard ulti. You can say GP ulti is a small engage, but I would say that doesn't count, right?
Yeah.
It's like you get hit by these things, you're gonna die. So Bard ulti, Zach engage. This is just Zach engage, right? You guys gotta leave. You guys are losing for sure. Oh, you just gotta go. You just gotta run. Okay, that's really awkward, but that was definitely our fault, right?
Yeah.
So one time we got caught by engage. I think it was one time. I'm not sure about the other times, but you can even buy a QSS for his ulti, but
didn't buy a QSS. Can you QSS Zach ult?
Yes, you can QSS and then dash, right? I think is the idea because you're still airborne, right?
Yeah. So if I QSS ulti, I'd get out of it.
I'm not sure if QSS ulti will let you leave, but QSS flash will let you leave for sure.
Yeah,
right.
Oh
my! What is he doing?
I don't know how we lost this. To be honest with you.
Oh my god, he missed the smite. Oh no. Yeah. Okay, that's fine. You can still win this fight. Nope, never mind. They're leaving. Okay, you push mid, sure. A lot of interesting stuff going on, but the big one was we got engaged on.
Yeah.
Right. Which I think was the only time that happened in these games. So really, the big idea we're seeing. Look at this. Even though laning went really poorly, our mid game and late game is a lot better than this Caitlyn's, right? Apparently. Yeah. So you gotta fix the laning. I think is where if you lose the game, it's like you got ganked. And you give up the lane and someone else's lane and jungle, right? Or we're kind of putting the wave in a bad spot, so he's zoning the shit out of you. Okay, he's actually 2 levels up on you, which is kind of awkward. Actually, I think it's because of all the you guys lost a bunch of fights, so you got a bunch of levels. Yeah, laning is definitely something you want to look at. Okay, wave management is the first thing you want to look at, and holding your W. Those are the 2 easiest things to work on right now, right? And then the next thing you want to look at is map awareness. Oh, do you see a play here?
Maybe ulti and then either Victor.
Right, I would say flash W Victor, but QE works too, which is what you found. So that's fine. And then press W, hit the closest guy. This is automatically winning, all right? If you're gonna hit automatically winning, the Victor got caught. So well, what do we do here though? That was kind of
I used W on the inhib.
Right, don't use it because remember, you only use W when there's no chance of fighting.
Okay.
Right? The only advanced exception rules is using it to bait them to fight you because you have more people, right? Or you have 1 minute left, so you need to kill this thing immediately, which is what you did, right? But this is why we always say never use it, because if you use it like this once, it's considered, mistake, right? It's considered we're throwing the fight right now, right? If the fight was more even, we would have a problem right now, I would say, right? That's actually why you can't find the W flash on Victor, is because you don't have W, right?
Yeah.
So for sure, W usage, don't use it. You need to use it for more value. Okay, for mechanics, that's the only thing you need to look at, right? Your ultis, I think, are really good. You have the right idea with the ultis. You have the right idea with your E's, right? Q's is like probably the least important thing, but you still have the right idea there. Wow, nice. Gave him some hope and then you killed him. That was some style points right there. But for sure, you need to hold on to your W, right? Like, how come? When was the second time we used it, right?
I used it, yeah, right here again.
Right. It's like, okay, if you think you need it to kill him, then sure. But the other times is you weren't even hitting someone, right? So make sure that case is fixed first, right? You want to at the very least hit someone with it, right? And something like this, you're trying to end the game. It doesn't matter if you use W or not, so that's fine. But for sure, hold on to your W, right? The stuff that you need to work on is laning, and most importantly, the ganks in laning. Because even if laning is poor, like, you know, the laning hasn't been great, as long as you don't die, like you didn't die in the Zac ganks, right? Did you die in Zac ganks? I think you died once.
I died once. Well, no, it wasn't to the Zac gank. It was I got Bard ulted and then Kate trapped and then Bard queued. Right,
you went for tower. That's why. So even if you don't die to ganks and laning is poor, you can still win. Because your mid game and late game is better than the other guys, right? That's how you'll win. But if there's something to work on for your gameplay, it's make sure we're not giving up like advantages in lane for ganks. And then second is make sure our wave management is clean, right? So let's see if we can find some examples of what it should look like, right? So any of these good. Let me see. This is probably a good example. I think there's an insane CS advantage in this game. Let me see.
Okay,
look at this.
Your Triforce Ash build.
Right, it's just kind of trolling, but look at the CS difference, right? So this is what's happening, except in reverse for you, right? Yeah. So let's see what's going on here. So fast forward. Okay, let's take a look at laning. We're just fast forward past the first few waves, but we're poking them down because our lane is poke, right? Yeah. And their lane is also poke. We're just doing it better. So we're just shoving them in. Remember when we were talking about, you know, where's the best spot for poke lane? Anywhere where you can poke them, right? So under tower is great. So we're just gonna push them in. So fast forward, we're just trying to get these minions. Sure. Press W. Oh, I got hit. That was kind of bad. Trolling. That's pretty awkward, but you hit him back. Sure. Fast forward a bit. The CS is, I think you missed a lot of CS, but it's 17 to 28 right now, right? And then when it comes to, I don't know what a move is doing, but that gank's not working. So this is the wave. What's the standard on this wave? What do you think? What's the cookie cutter strat? This is what we want you to learn. How do you hard push this?
Use abilities and continuously auto, but not miss any minions.
We can't hard push this. Why?
Oh, because your W is on cooldown.
Even if we had W, we can't hard push this. Why? What's something that's really hard to kill in this wave?
Oh, the cannon minion. Right.
So you'll see us. We're not trying to hard push this, right? We're trying to slow push, and then we're gonna hard push the next wave, right? We actually did this too fast because our minion line is moving. So yeah. I think we actually did this too fast, but and then we hard push this, right? Is the idea. Look, I'm just gonna hit these as hard as I can, right? So you're gonna slow push, right? And then when you can hard push, you hard push. Okay, that's the cookie cutter strat I want you to think, right? And then he's gonna lose a bunch of minions because he has to deal with this now, right? Is the big picture. And then fast forward, same thing. We're back at this wave. What do you do with this one? We have a few options now.
Well, Skarner's, I'd say, well, since Skarner's bot, you can hard push it, or you can just slow push and then hard push the next one, because the next one's coming up. It's like about to get to the tower.
Okay, I think that if the lane was even, that's not a bad choice, but we're heavily winning, right? So what happens here?
Oh, you freeze it. Or you pull it closer to them so it's pushing into you so they have to walk up and then you can just kill them if they try to. Exactly.
So since they have the base, what do we do?
You just base it and then it's going to push through and they lose out on more.
Right, exactly. So fast forward and then, oh, goodbye all these minions. And then look at all our minions. So let me see if I press tab. So 20 CS deficit, right? So that's what's happening to you right now. So the way you fix it, okay, is you're not losing because you're getting poked or anything like that. They were getting poked, so they just got punished for being poked. But in your case, it's just you're not pushing it in when you have the opportunity, right? So when you slow push it, when you can push it into their tower, do it. Okay, that's what I want you to think. Times when you can't push into a tower. This. Remember the cookie cutter strat is you slow push this one. Right, so this is exactly what I'm doing. Right.
So slow push this one and then hard push the next one.
Right, and then if he's trying to even it out, that's fine. Right, we don't really care.
Just match it.
Right, it's just fine. You can do whatever you want in this case, right? You just don't want it to go into your tower, right? And then fast forward, and then you have a slow. We can't push this in, right?
Yeah.
So what do we do?
You just slow push it and then hard push the next one.
Yeah, perfect. Right, we're gonna make sure that we can hard push the next wave, right? And then Hamumu ganks. I actually don't think this is good, but it doesn't work. But Janna kind of gets caught somehow, so we get the kill. Interesting. And then since they're dead, we can push, right? This is a hard push because they're dead, right? There's no point in slow pushing this.
Yeah,
is the idea, and that's the thing you need to do. That's the easy fix. Is all you have to do is just push this with Xayah or whatever champion you're playing, right? And you shove this in, and you can do something else. You can poke, you can go ward like Xayah's doing, whatever. But your problem is you didn't get it into tower. It's always up here, right? So if you can fix that, that will be like number one. And if you keep having this problem, what you do is you just open up a replay and you copy whatever someone else is doing. I promise you cannot go wrong with copying someone else, right? So that's kind of the general strategy. And then that's just how you create a CS difference, right? Can you push this wave in? Since it's not a cannon. It's not a cannon, so.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so we're just gonna hard push it, right? We can even freeze, but we can do everything we want in this case. I think we're just looking to kill this guy, I guess. Right, but is winning because he dies for free, right? So we trade kills. This is good for us, right? And that's basically wave management in a nutshell, right? When in doubt, you slow push. When you can push it into the tower, hard push.
So would you say my shitty wave management is the reason why I'm not CSing as well?
Yes. Okay. You can't even like say you're not last hitting things or anything like that because your wave is in such a bad spot. If you go to CS, you're dying to gank.
Okay.
Right. So you need to fix this part first, and then if you have CS problems, that's what you look at. But in the mid game, you caught up because your mid game strategy was much better than his. Right. You're doing basically the right thing in the mid game. So no complaints.
It's just a laning phase I need to work on.
Right. And don't use W and don't chase. Yeah. That's how you lose outside of the lane. is in these cases, from what we saw, is you just or you got engaged on that too. But I think that happened once. So less important than the other stuff. Okay. But if you lose out of lane, it's because you didn't have a W for some reason, or what was the other one? It was chasing, right? You're chasing for some random kill. You just want to hit the closest guy, right? Okay. The only time you chase is when you know how it's going to end up, right? You're going to finish this guy off, and then you can turn, or you're going to finish this guy off, you're going to flash out, or something like that, right? Other than that, don't chase, right? Okay. It's just this laning is just putting your lane in such a bad spot where there's just a problem, right? Let's just put up a random example. Let's see what's going on here. What do you want to do with this?
Is the next way the cannon minion?
So if I give you two options, last hit or push, what do you want?
Last hit.
Yes, last hit, right? Fast forward. How about this?
Last hit.
Right, last hit, right? If you can't push, it's always last hit, right?
Yeah.
So in this case, it's always last hit, right? Fast forward. This is all still last hit, and then whatever gank. Okay, how about now? There's no cannon. Cannon's dead, right? This cannon just died. So what do you want to do now?
Push it.
Yes, you want to push, right? You want to push all this in, and then you're good to go. That's the problem, is that we didn't push, right? Those are the times we're missing. So since we didn't push, you have disaster happening, right? So here, the same thing, you want to push, but now it's too close to their lane, so Zach can come. The reason why we could push here is because it's so far. How can you jump? You can't even jump, right? But here you can jump over this wall. So that's how this prom. Yeah, like he jumps over the wall, right? So that's how this prom happens. Is that we didn't take our time to push. This is still push, right? You'll say this is still push, right? Now we're done because this is last hit, but you can't be out here. So now this is a prom. You can't even push this. Maybe you're Xayah, so you can push this, but we got a problem. This is definitely push, right? So in all these cases, we're like, oh, we gotta push this in, but we're not really pushing hard enough, right? Like, these guys all have to die right now. Yeah. So that's what you should do. Is in lane you say last hit or push, and then you do that thing, okay? And I think that'll help the most. And knowing whether to push or not depends on the cannon a lot. right? Because we saw that on the cannon wave you cannot push, right?
Yeah.
And then on non-cannon wave, oh yes, you can push, right? So that's what you should take a look at for laning,
Okay.
right? And overall, do not die, and then after that you're good to go, right? I think out of laning stuff was much better than everyone else's, right? It seems like, you know, once you get out of the laning phase, it looks pretty clean, like low amount of deaths, right? If there were any amount of deaths, it's probably something laning related or team fight chasing is what I'm thinking, right? You were very good on, you know, oh, it's 4v5, don't fight. That was 10 out of 10. I don't think you continue to do something stupid, right? And then, you know, you realized team was like dying and you couldn't help in time, you pushed, right? That was good. Although you could have seen it earlier, right?
Yeah.
So, but I would say map awareness doesn't seem to be an issue out of the laning phase, right? It's just something is wrong with our wave management and or we're getting ganked and we're dying.
Okay.
I think is the biggest idea. And I'm sorry, don't press W, but I think since you play other champions, if there are mechanical issues, you got to take a look at that yourself, right? Something like don't use Xayah W, something like don't use Caitlyn Net, right? You know the drill.
Yeah,
right?
I think Xayah is the only one that I have a problem with, because like for Kate, I know never to use E unless it's for an escape, and for Xayah to like I'm pretty good at using that.
Right. So it should be good. Just work on this laning idea, and if you can get 5 games in a row where the laning wave management is clean and you didn't die to a gank, and you're still losing, right? You lose those games, then you take a look and reevaluate, right? But I think this is the biggest area you can work on.
Okay.
Right? So do it. Basically, just think about push, don't push until you have 5 games in a row is perfect, right? You're gonna watch 5-year games where you watch the laning phase and you take a look and you're like, okay, it's good, right? We didn't make any mistakes, and then you go from there. So
okay,
sounds good.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Any last questions? You want to go back, review anything?
I have a question. It has nothing to do with what we went over. It's kind of champ pool or champion wise. Okay, so for Twitch, I like you can go look last season. I played Twitch a shit ton, and I had a really good win rate, and I did really well on him. But this season, I've barely played him, and I just want to know like because I know you play Twitch, so I just want to know your opinion on him. If like should I like replace like Ezreal with Twitch, or should I just like keep Ezreal?
Oh yeah, replace Ezreal or Xayah with Twitch for sure, right? It's just mechanical champions where if you make a mechanical mistake and you lose, I am not a fan of those unless I'm like one-tricking them at any time point, right? I used to one-trick Ezreal, so it was okay. Yeah. But the reason why I don't play Xayah is because it's like the amount of time you need to put into it to make sure mechanics are perfect is not worth the reward when I can pick something else that's as good, right? So I would say definitely Twitch is really good at this rank too, right? They're just gonna die, right? You just come out of stealth and you're like, oh, hello. So I think Twitch is really good. He's more of a brain champion than he is a mechanics champion. So playing something like him could be good for you. But since his laning is really poor, maybe you don't want to try him out right now, right?
Yeah.
Maybe work on laning first because it could compound the issue. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, someone with shitty laning plus my review.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. So I would say, yeah, definitely replace Ezreal or Xayah, especially since it doesn't seem like we're playing enough of those champions to say you can add it into our pool, right?
Yeah, because I try to pick Caitlyn or Xayah, whatever.
Right. That's good. So yeah, I would say Twitch is great.
Do you have like a recommendation which one I should replace him with between Ezreal and Xayah?
Ezreal probably because he's just much different than the other champions, right? I don't think Ezreal is harder than Xayah, but Xayah's his playstyle is much different, right? It's not you can't just dash in or anything like that, and you have skill shots.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, you have skill shots, so it's like I don't know. Yeah, so it's much harder. I say it's much different. It's not harder, but it's more different than Xayah is. Xayah is much harder, I think. Xayah is just fucking I'll never recommend that champion, but unless you're like a mechanical god, but
the main reason I started playing Ezreal was because of you and Reckless. That's like
really?
Yeah,
my Ezreal used to be not bad, but now it's just dumpster tier. So I can't even pick it anymore. But yeah, Reckless's Ezreal is pretty good.
Yeah.
Right. You even see Reckless like he doesn't even play Xayah. I think he'll play like Tristana, Jhin, sometimes Xayah. Right. I don't even know what he's playing right now, but he has similar kind of idea going on there where play champions that are consistently good even if you make some small mechanical error and high reward, right? So yeah, like Xayah, you misclick W, we're done, right? That's the problem. Or you miss E, you're done as well. Or miss ulti, right? You miss a single thing, it's like feels bad. So on Twitch, it's like, how can you miss an ulti? You know,
So
it's
for
just
Twitch, would it just be like knowing when to come out of stealth, or
right. It's Twitch's gameplay is actually very different from other AD carries, but it comes down to how well do you know your damage, right? Are you winning all in based on matchup, or 1v1 you're trying to kill their mid laner? Does he have flash? How is he gonna react, right? If you're gonna come out and kill a Blanc, how do you do it? For example, how do you do it?
You'd have to dodge the chain, but and hope she doesn't have W or flash up.
Right. I would say instead of right. So how do we increase our chances? Go in on her when she W's the wave. That's automatic win because she has no response, right?
So
if she had W, then
what you have to do to win it.
Right. It's like, what are they gonna do if you come out of stealth right now? Okay. And if their response is too good, then you can't come out of stealth, right?
Got it.
Or if you can counter their response, right? Like, the classic is Twitch versus Ashe. What does Ashe do when you come out of stealth?
She's just gonna arrow you.
Yeah, you're gonna arrow you in the face. So you flash that, automatic win. Or if you fail the mechanical aspect of it, right? You flash and then she arrows you, then you got a problem, right?
Yeah.
But much of Twitch is what's gonna happen when you come out of stealth, right? Yeah, it's just different because you always have to jump on someone. You can always choose to go first.
Yeah.
Not these champions are not the same, right? So yeah, but I would say maybe even replace both of them with Twitch or Caitlyn Kaisa is really good. 2 champions already.
Yeah.
So whatever's most fun for you, honestly. Fun is a good factor.
It's actually Jin, but I'm garbage at a champion now for some reason.
Yeah, I would actually recommend against them now because they got rid of Rageblade interaction. So he used to be a maybe, but now he's probably a no.
He's a hard no.
Right. And then of course all of this is probably going to change when the new ADC changes come out. But we'll see. Sure. Right, we'll see. Maybe Twitch with a new item could be really good, right?
Yeah.
What's it like Storm something? I don't know.
Oh, Storm Razor?
Right. It could be good. We'll see. It'll be interesting though.
All right.
So yeah, any last questions before we wrap it up?
No. So just work on wave management and chasing and not being too trigger finger on liabilities.
Right. The biggest areas I would say you want to look at are the wave management, right, and not dying to gank, because I think that we were basically dead to gank in both games, right? So those are the 2 biggest ones for laning. And then out of laning, it's game in general, not just laning, is making sure your abilities are high value no matter what. It's better to not use it than it is to use it and miss. Okay, better to not use it than use it and miss. I want you to take that to heart because that's what I needed to tell myself before I got better at it. Okay. Right? And then the other thing is just don't chase. Right. Sure, I think sometimes we hit the tower, it was a mistake, but I don't think that was a big issue. It was just, I think chasing was a big issue. You're trying to finish someone off. That's usually not the correct option, right?
Okay.
You let them go and hit the closest guy. They're already out of the fight, hopefully, right? Unless you have a specific way to chase or something like that, right? Then you can do that. Like, let me show you an example of disaster, right? Let's see. I had to play the game where I played Varus, and I chased, and it was just automatic loss for my team, right? Let me see. It's like, where is it? Oh, here we go. Let's take a look at this fight. All right, so we're starting Baron. They have a dead mid laner. Tell me what I'm doing wrong in this example.
You're not hitting closest target. You greeted for the Caitlyn.
Right, we chased.
Just hit the TK or the Scion.
We didn't have the what's it called?
The damage.
We didn't have the plan. If you want to do something that's not hit the closest guy, this plan has to work. So what's our plan? We didn't have a plan. We just hit him. Going for Q here is actually very good, right? Why is that?
It's because you had the 3 white stacks on her.
Right. So all this is great up until we flash, because there's no way to kill this guy. How do we kill this guy?
Yeah, you don't have E up.
What do you think? Is he just gonna stand there? No, he's gonna walk away, right? So this is automatic loss.
If you had E up, you probably would have killed him.
Right. How do you say that? How do you know that E up means we still can't kill him?
Oh, because he could have a flash still.
Right there, right? So impossible. Yeah. You need Q instead of E, because you can't. It's harder to flash Q, for example, right?
Yeah.
But of course you just auto lose off this. So not much else to say except It was just you try to go for a play that included chasing, and it didn't work because you had no plan, right? So
Yeah.
that's actually the biggest reason why you can't do that is because you can throw a team fight by yourself. So don't do that. Don't do that. So yeah. Anything else?
No. I think that
All
should be
right,
good.
cool. Then if you do have any other questions slash have any clips you want to show me, feel free to hit me up on Discord. Otherwise, we'll wrap it up. I'll upload this to YouTube and send you the link.
All right, sweet. Thanks.
Cool. Have a nice day and good luck in your games. Let me know how they go.
Thanks. You too.
All right, see ya.
See ya.